incredible value from that. You can also go to my blog and get my free gift there and sign up there. It's how to take your past fears and your failures and use as a fuel to just hit the ground running. So that's my gift to you guys, for all my followers, all the people watching, and we'll talk about the webinar later. But man, I am so jacked up to do this for you guys. So really today's topic is, 3 things that you can be doing to absolutely just kill your business. And when I talk about this, basically, some people are not going to want to hear this, right? Because I'm here to tell you that, things only get worse. Things only get worse if you blame other people. If you blame a situation, environment, or person for the reason that you're in the position you're at, things are just going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell each and every one of you that, I've been at some very, very low places in my life. And even after I started my career, I was making tons and tons of money, made $1 million before I was 30. And the owner made some bad decisions and the company got shut down. Imagine anybody that you're, retired on the beach, you're collecting, 4 or 5 grand a month residual checks. You never have to go to work again. And all of a sudden, one day the checks just stopped coming in. I was mad. I wanted to blame everybody, and everything. It was the company's fault. It was the owner's fault. It was this, it was that. And, I went through this whole thing of just being angry. And I'm telling you guys right now, some of the 3 things that can really just hinder your success and helping you move forward is if you're ever blaming, shaming, or justifying any current situation that you're in. But guess what? We all do it as humans, right? So I'll go through all the steps. One is you can just blame. You know what I mean? Everybody can point the finger, and we all know that you can probably talk to anybody that's negative and down on their luck, and 99% of the time they're playing the blame game. It's like, oh my gosh, well, if it wasn't for the, this, and, this person screwed me over, and it was my company's fault, and, all this whole thing. Yeah, the whole poor me. You can just continue to just, blame other people for that situation. I can tell you guys, it's in a very powerful book, Science of Getting Rich, that if you blame a situation, environment, or a person for the reason that you're at in your current situation, you're never going to get out of that situation, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like, you look at alcoholics or drug addicts. The first step is you got to admit that you got a problem. You got to say, hey, things are messed up. I got myself in this situation. I can get myself out. And here's the best part of this, guys, is it doesn't matter how bad your situation is. If you stop blaming others for being in that situation and take ownership of it, you can get out. You can get out. I promise you. Being 12 years of doing this, I can tell you guys, I've met people that were so down and out. I mean, borderline homeless or even homeless in situations. People that were so depressed they were contemplating suicide. People that were massive drug addicts. The list goes on and on and on. But once they took personal ownership of their current situation, they were able to change their life completely. The other one is shame. So here's another thing that people do is, okay, you're not blaming anybody for your current situation, but you're ashamed of it. It's like you admit that maybe you made some wrong decisions. And, here's another one. Being ashamed of something means you're too afraid to ask for help. Guys, you have to ask for help, ladies and gentlemen. You got to find a mentor and a coach. You got to jump on a Periscope and say, listen, Melody, my current situation is so bad. I don't know if I can pay my bills. I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. And yeah, I'm ashamed of it, but I need help. So if you're ever ashamed of that situation, and how many people know that we all do this as well? How many people have done something wrong or said something wrong, or maybe it was a family party or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you just would rather cut off communication with those people than just because you're so ashamed of what you've done. And the other one is justifying it, guys. And this is also probably huge of what 99% of people in a bad situation is after blaming everybody else, and you're going, well, listen, do I really need to do this? You know, I hate my job, but so does everybody else. I'm in debt up to my eyeballs, but so is the rest of the world. I hate my job, but at least I got one. You know, do I really need those cars? Do I really need to make thousands of dollars? You know, I could just be like everybody else. And what people just do is they just justify their current situation. You know, I talked with somebody today, and if he's on here, I'm not picking on him, but, and actually multiple people have said this, is like, well, I really want to build my business, but I got a full-time job. And so we can give you 8 hours of sleep. Is that fair enough? Then we can give you 8 hours to work at your job. There's another 8 hours in the day to build your business. Quit justifying all the reasons why you can't do something and find one reason why you can. Well, you don't know I spend an hour commuting every day. Wow, that's awesome. Me as an entrepreneur, I got so much stuff going on that sometimes it's hard for me to make sure to slot out time to do personal development. So you've already got a guaranteed 2 hours that you're sitting in the car driving. Imagine if you took that 2 hours and listen to personal development. Man, you could catch up to me and pass me. Oh, well, so guys, this was kind of a quick periscope, but I know it's also, I know not everybody maybe needed to hear this, but I know that everybody goes through this. I don't care who you are. We're all humans. I've never met anybody that's perfect, that when something bad happens to them, they go, listen, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not justifying it. I'm not ashamed that it happened. I'm owning up to it. It's a bad place in my life and I'm moving forward. Guys, I even do that stuff. I'm telling you guys, recently, working with a new company and things shut down, and immediately, instead of looking for solutions, I look for all the problems. It's like, oh my gosh, well, why didn't they do this? And why didn't they help out like this? And if it was a different situation, I'd be doing better. And oh my God, there are just all these voices in your head, guys. So you got to check yourself if you're ever blame, shaming, or justifying any current situation in your life. You need to check it right away. And it could be the small things, you know what I mean? It's like, I know I was supposed to get on that webinar, but, I had other stuff going. Oh, crap, I'm justifying why I didn't get on. Okay, I need to stop doing that. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't get on the webinar and I know I really should have and I'm ashamed of it, so I'm just going to act like nothing happened and avoid, my mentor for a while. Or, once again, guys, so I know this is powerful, and I learned this concept a long time ago because I really believe that's the biggest reason in the world right now for people not having success. They're always consistently blaming a situation, environment, or person. Oh my gosh, it's the government's fault. It's the terrorist's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's Obama. If we get Obama out of president and all those stupid decisions he made, then I'll be able to finally become rich. No, none of that, and all those outside situations have absolutely no influence on you unless you let it. Why do you guys think I don't have cable television? I'm not interested. We talked about this yesterday. I'm not interested in listening to anything negative. I'm not interested in blaming anybody else. If it's up to me, it's up to me, ladies and gentlemen. So, check yourself, when you start going through this, and, if you're ashamed, ask for help. You got to ask for help, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way. You can't get yourself out of your current situation with the mindset that got you there. And it's very hard, and even for personal experience, I still reach out to my mentor for guidance, because when you're clouded by your blame and your justification and your shame, it's really hard to make smart decisions to get out of that position. So you got to reach out to somebody. You got to be able to ask for help, guys. So, today was just kind of a short periscope, but I hope you guys love this, because I do see most people struggle with that. And, be careful when you're calling people out. What I mean by that is most people are just so caught up in this blame, shaming, and justifying that they don't want to hear it from you, that the reason why they're in a bad spot is because they're justifying it. They don't want to hear it. So, sometimes it's always good to have a third party, or, recommend them the book of Science of Getting Rich, or recommend them a motivational video or a movie. If you're the person that's not in there, that's the best way to get that out.